welcome to Travel with Sean. I'm Sean. We're on the Madeira Island, which is part of Portugal. And in this episode of Travel with Sean, we're going to discuss and I'm going to show you some interesting things about Madeira.
For a long time, Madeira has been one of the favorite vacation destinations for Europeans because of its mild weather all year round. The average high temperature for Madeira is about 60 degrees December through May and about 70 June through November, and the temperature doesn't vary much between day and night, so it's very comfortable weather. The flight from Lisbon to Madeira is only about 1.5 hours. That's a comfortable flight time, but some people would say that the Madeira airport is one of the most dangerous in the world and one of the hardest for pilots to land at. One reason for this is air turbulence and sudden wind gusts when approaching the airport. But also, the airport is right next to the ocean with three sides surrounded by ocean and several tall cliffs nearby. Besides that, the airport has only one runway, allowing only one aircraft on it at any time. The runway was originally about 5,200 feet long when it was built in the 1960s and has been expanded twice, most recently in 2002 to about 9,100 feet. Despite that expansion, it is still considered one of the most challenging airports for pilots landing in Europe. They need special training and plenty of experience to fly into the Madeira airport. With the tall cliffs nearby, they don't have much time or room to prepare for landing. This picture shows you the current look of the runway at Madeira's airport. Because Madeira is a mountainous island, drivers have many tunnels to go through to drive around the island. People say there are between 100 and 150 tunnels for the roads. Some tunnels are back to back. They're separated by roundabouts. You exit one tunnel, go through the roundabout, and then you're greeted by yet another tunnel. Some tunnels are very long, perhaps a couple miles long even. A coastal drive from Funchal in the southeast to Porto Moniz in the northwest is only an hour-and-a-half drive, but at least half of that time is spent driving through tunnels. Most tunnels allow for two-way traffic, but there are some, like this one, that are essentially one-way. Neither end of this tunnel has a stop sign or a traffic light, so cars may enter the tunnel from either direction at any time. This means there's a good chance you'll encounter oncoming traffic when attempting to pass through the tunnel. When that happens, one vehicle pulls over as far as they can, while the other vehicle proceeds slowly and cautiously. Other than the challenge of driving through tunnels, some roads are on steep hills. When approaching towns, you may find yourself driving downhill on a challenging slope. You can see here that this one is a one-way road with a steep winding descent. You can also see that the road looks rough. It was built with grooves to provide extra traction for cars, because otherwise the road could be slippery when wet, which could be disastrous on a road like this. In addition to this, factor in that their roads tend to be a lot narrower than what Americans are used to. Driving on this kind of road, you definitely need good brakes and a strong stomach. One unique thing in Madeira is what's called the Levadas. When you go up into the mountains, you have these irrigation canals that have been around for a couple centuries to bring water down from the top of the mountains. And the regional government of Madeira has been building these walkways all along the Levadas for hikers. And this is a popular activity on Madeira. The one we're going on is 1.5 kilometers each way, heading out and coming back. When doing a Levada walk on Madeira, some of the hazards you're going to find are the puddles, the mud, roots, and rocks. So you have to watch your step. You want to make sure you have good footwear. Take your time, enjoy it, and beware if you decide you want to walk on the side of the Levada. You see it's mossy. There's wet leaves, so it could be quite slippery. You could get hurt. Don't want to get too close to the edge because of the mud, slippery mud. It's a long drop down there. One of the fun parts of doing a Levada walk are the nature views. So peaceful, just listening to the water and watching the stream. There are over 200 Levada walks with 3 levels of difficulty. The first level is the easiest, like we're on, which tends to be relatively short and flat. Our journey lasted a couple hours. The intermediate level is considerably longer and may include stairs or other inclines. The advanced or difficult level would be in the mountains and along mountain peaks, where you may have a steep incline or descent and narrow pathways. Both the intermediate and the advanced levels could have Levada trails that are an all-day journey. It's good exercise, walking among nature, enjoying the surroundings, enjoying the views. Just be careful you don't fall in the Levada and get wet. The weather can change quickly and the temperature can drop. You don't want to be wet for the rest of your walk. This long, winding road leads from the town of Garajo to its beach at the bottom of a huge cliff. Automobile traffic is restricted because of loose and falling rocks. If you want to experience the true beauty of Madeira and see the many sights it has to offer, you need to get out and walk. Many are not even accessible by car, like this one here. You'd either walk or you also have the option of paying to ride on the cable car. You'd have to take the cable car down and back, or walk. Here you can see the many different colors and layers of rock on the side of the cliff. This was formed by molten lava drying and cooling. At the bottom of the cliff, there is a diving center that was built into the side of the cliff. Actually, it is a cave which has been converted into a diving center. Let's go inside, get a better look, and see what this cave looks like today. According to locals, this cave used to be where the local community stored their beer. The cave kept the beer cold before the island had refrigeration, and it was the only cold beer on the island, which made it the best beer on the island. Madeira is not a destination people go to for its beaches. Being a subtropical island, you would think that there would be numerous sandy beaches. In fact, nearly all of the beaches on Madeira are made of stone. There are only 3 sandy beaches on the island. One is natural, and the other 2 were made with sand imported from Morocco, about 100 miles away. The city of Portimonense built a swimming pool in the ocean around several volcanic rocks. This is a gorgeous setting to swim a little or sunbathe. The water in the pool is replenished by the ocean, and there are several other communities around the island that have natural and or partly natural swimming pools in the ocean around volcanic rocks. It's understandable that someone would want oceanfront property, but on Madeira, that means your house is very close to the ocean. So you'll have to elevate it a bit and have a retaining wall or other berm to keep the waves and surf away from your house. In this case, the property owner also has only one way in or out, just a narrow pathway among the weeds and cacti. It's normal for people to want fruit trees in their backyard, but on Madeira, it's not uncommon for the fruit to be bananas. This small chapel, a Capella do Caiao, was carved into a large volcanic rock at the mouth of the river in the town of São Vicente in 1692. The original purpose was a place to pray for protection from the ocean. It is also said to be where the martyr Saint Vincent, or São Vicente in Portuguese, appeared. Its name means Chapel of the Pebble, referring to the volcanic boulder into which it was built. It looks like a pebble compared to the mountain next to it.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Then you can be alerted of future episodes of Travel with Sean. Thanks again.